Hi, this video, Finding the Perimeter, is brought to you by Use a Ruler! Please, use responsibly. Perimeter. This is total review from 6th grade, so let's get to it. Perimeter is the distance around a polygon, specifically a polygon. That is the definition of it. Thus why we have a different word, circumference, for a circle. Because it's the distance around this. It's the same word. It means the exact same thing. We'll talk more about that when we do circumference. Perimeter, again, is the distance around a polygon. So, without further ado, let me give you another idea of how to think about distance. And this is the same for circumference. It's the exact same idea. If I was to cut like a polygon in one spot and then pull it apart into a straight line, how long would that line be? Like, that's the idea. That if I take this thing, I cut it in one spot and I lay it completely out, like if I was to cut this piece of rope and cut it and lay it completely out, how long would it be? That's the idea behind a polygon. That's it. It's a distance, it's a length. So it's in meters, centimeters, yada yada yada. It is not meters squared. That is area, that is cubic. We are in single metric stuff, measuring units, so don't get too crazy about it. So here we go. Our first will be a scalene triangle. It is scalene because all three sides are, of course, different lengths. So it's asking, well, we're gonna find the triangle's perimeter. One side is 3 meters, one side is 5 meters, and the other one is 8 meters. Let's go with our idea first. If I was to cut this piece of paper, or sorry, this line, if I was to take a piece of like scissors and cut it right where the blue and green connect and lay it out piece by piece, I would have the 3 meters, the 5 meters, and then the very end of it attached would be the 8 meters. Yes, the 8 meters should be longer than the 5 meters. I just ran out of paper. Please do it correctly. That's the idea, is I just cut it and then I have this piece of rope laying out. Well, that's just basically 3 plus 5 plus 8. 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 8, which is equal to 16. We are going to be putting our answers in this unit, the next unit, and the unit after. We are going to be writing our answers in complete sentences. Because we should. 16 meters, or 16 doesn't even have units on it. 16 gophers standing in a straight line. Units, 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 units. I cannot stress that enough. So, and they don't have to be crazy. The triangle's perimeter is 16 meters. Our answers are going to be in complete sentences because that makes sense. 16. Me putting an M on that doesn't mean anything. The triangle's perimeter is 16 meters. That holds so much more weight than this. That is so much more powerful than just writing a number with a letter next to it. If you actually want to write, instead of M, write meters out, like meters, more power to you. Do it. Get in the habit of being creative with your answers. Get in the habit of enjoying your answer and celebrating the fact that you got it right. And write it in a sentence so you understand what you found. Okay, we're going to do 3 more examples. Next 2 are pretty straightforward. The third one is, well, it's unique. I like it. I like my answers unique. Here's the first 2. They're both parallelograms. So, example number 2, part A. Find the perimeter of the parallelograms. Well, this parallelogram is clearly a rectangle, but I'm calling it a parallelogram on purpose. And you'll see why. Parallelograms have this special function that their opposite sides are congruent. So if this is 9, this has got to be 9 inches. And if this is 16 inches, that has to be 16 inches. So powerful. So powerful. So here we go. And you can do this either as 16 plus 9 plus 16 plus 9, or you can do 16 plus 16 plus 9 plus 9. I'm more of that type of habit. I'm personally like that. That's 32. That's 18. I'm going to do that because, well, why not? What is that, by the way? That is the associative property of addition. Lets me add out of order. So we get 50 inches, which we are going to write as a sentence. But don't you notice what happened? Aren't you seeing double? I know I am. Here's another way of thinking about it. 2 times 16 plus 2 times 9 is equal to this. Isn't it? 2 times 16 is 32. 2 times 9 is that. Cool. Here's another idea. 2 times 16 plus 9 is equal to what? Order of operations says we do 16 plus 9, then we have 2 times 25, which is also equal to 50. Cool trick. Inches, by the way. Really cool trick, I think. Both of these are called the perimeter of a parallelogram law. Like, that's basically what they are. It's a little rule. Because the opposite sides are equal, you have two of them. That's why there's a 2 right there. Makes life a little easier. Totally does. Our complete sentence is this. The rectangle's perimeter is 50 inches. Right? It's a rectangle. Let's call it a rectangle. But the rectangle's perimeter is 50 inches. Okay. Another parallelogram. Cool. 2 different ways. Why not? Let's do it 2 different ways. I could do it like this. 2 times 6 plus 5.3, which is 2 times 11.3. Order of operations says I add first, which is 22.6 miles. MI means miles, by the way. Cool. Another one could be, and the other way would be 2 times 6 plus 2 times 5.3. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 5.3 is, 10.6. And that is definitely equal to 22.6 miles. By the way, if you haven't noticed it, this is the distributive property. 2 times 6, 2 times 5.3. 2 times 6, 2 times 5.3. That's why they're equal. So, the parallelogram has don't put the N, perimeter. I was about to put area of 22.6 miles. Cool. So that's perimeter. That's how you would find it. These little laws are great and everything. If you just literally want to just write out, this is 5.3 and this is 6, or like if you don't want to add what they are and just add it like normal like we did up here the first time for this parallelogram, that's fine. I don't care. This is one more thing to have to memorize. If you've got time, awesome. If you're more interested in playing World of Warcraft, I totally understand. Yeah, it's up to you. Final example. Find the perimeter of this triangle. By the way, that's an apostrophe. Find the triangle's perimeter. Cool. Well, we add the sides together, right? 12 plus 5 plus blah. Mr. V, man, man, that ain't cool. Where's that? How long that side, dude? Hey. No, seriously, man. What's up? Well, that's a triangle. Not only is it a triangle, it is a right triangle, which means we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find that missing side. Hot dog, let's do it. It is the square, we take the sum of the square of the leg, so we square each leg, and this should be equal to the hypotenuse of side squared, so we'll call this side C for now. 12 squared is 144, plus 5 squared, which is 25. Means C squared is equal to 169. We take the square root of both sides, so that means C must be equal to, C is equal to, well, 13 centimeters. Cool. Pythagorean theorem pulls through in the end. This is a fair question. Find the triangle's perimeter. Well, I don't know what the third side is. You can find it. You know how to use Pythagorean theorem. Use it. Control your destiny. So here we go. Now we had, so that's step one. You got to find all the sides. You have to know what all the sides equal. If you don't, you have to go on a manhunt and find them all. Manhunt. It's like a, sounds like a movie of like action stars. I'm not an action star. I hate running. 12 plus 5 is 17 plus 13, which means the area, the perimeter of this right triangle is 30 meters. Add the units at the end. Some people argue to put the, have meters on this as we're going. That's just one more thing to worry about. Just know your units and know it's a perimeter, which means perimeter is going to be just meters. It's up to you, and it's up to whoever your teacher is, what they want. But I personally don't do that. The right triangle perimeter is 30 meters. Cool. So, well, this is stuff that you know how to do back from 6th grade, but again, we're adding some new stuff. Like, you know what perimeter is after this year, hopefully. So we're going to use perimeter, and we're going to use Pythagorean theorem after what we did in Unit 4. So we're digging back in the past, and we're bringing it forward. Like if I asked you, how many centimeters is this triangle's perimeter? That's a brand new question, but you should know how to convert this to centimeters. 3,000, by the way, 3,000 centimeters is equal to this perimeter also. That's the same number. So, yeah, be ready for anything. This is a it's an awesome chapter because I could ask you almost anything. Like, there's so many different things I could ask you that my notes are flooded with ridiculous amounts of examples that I'm not even using all of them. So, have a great night, and don't live in fear. I won't use them all. Or will I?